if you have a good community, it means you have a great hospital. That's how it works. And so I'd like to turn the time over to Mitch Southwick from IHC for a few minutes just to say a few words. You can thank him for the lunch too. Thank
Yeah,
you.
no. I just pulled that up. No, thank you very much, family and friends. Just 20 seconds real fast. You'll come back to what we just talked about with community. So I'm fortunate, I grew up in Ogden. I've had some family come to BYU and some family went to the U, which we won't talk about fully here tonight, or today, I guess. But throughout my time in healthcare, I've been in healthcare about 14 years. And Intermountain really is a very special healthcare organization. I'm proud to work there. I've been here about 5 years here at Utah Valley Hospital. I'm in cardiovascular medicine, so if my face is familiar to you, I don't know you. I'm just teasing. But it is about the community. And that's the thing I love about Intermountain is that they are dedicated to our community. They put forth a ton of effort. And I love particularly the things we've got going with Brigham Young University, BYU. We've got some really phenomenal things coming on the pipeline, specifically with athletes and some performance things that we're going to work towards together and some partnerships in the future that will be coming. You'll hear more about that in the coming years, but it's exciting. So first off, thank you for being a part of our community. Thank you for supporting BYU as well as Intermountain. We're excited for our partnership. Our hospital can only be successful with our community. So thank you to you. Enjoy lunch. And go Cougs.
Thanks, Mitch. That's right, go Cougs. I would like you to know that the Cougar Invitational for track will be this Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. If you want to know the times, it's kind of all day, but you can jump on the website, come support our track team. No fee to come and watch them compete. Our women's basketball team will compete here in the Mary Center on Saturday at 4 p.m. and they'll play against Cincinnati. It's a big game for us. Love you to come out and cheer them on. And our men's basketball team will be playing UCF at the same time in Florida. Okay, I'd like to introduce our assistant gymnastics coach, Natalie Brookman. She was a member of the BYU gymnastics team from 1996 to 1999, and she broke the school all-around record in 99 with a 39.475. She coached at gold medal gymnastics in Chandler, Arizona, and for 9 years at Arizona Olympian Gymnastics. Here at BYU, Natalie is the primary balance beam coach. Can you guys please try that today at some time? Don't come to our gym and actually get up on it. Just put some tape on your living room floor. How wide is it?
4 inches.
4 inches. Just make a balance beam on your carpet at home. So if you fall, you're not going to go anywhere. But just try and walk back and forth and see if you can just do that. And then imagine what our girls are doing. They're flipping, they're twisting. It's insanity. So she's our primary balance beam coach and assists with all aspects of the program, including athlete development, recruiting, summer camps, and more. She graduated from BYU in 2000 with a Bachelor of Science in Family Science. And Natalie and her husband, David, have 4 children. So I'll turn the time over to Natalie.
Good afternoon, Cougar Club. Now, Chad was going like this. That is not 4 inches. I'm here to tell you 4 inches looks like this, and he's exactly right. Don't get up there. We had our assistant volleyball coach, Johnny, the other day come out to the field house when we were training, and he said, "Can I get up on the beam?" And I said, "Sure, get up." And he got up there, and he said, "Nope." And he got right back down. Sometimes when our girls go home for Christmas, I say, "Don't forget, put a little tape on the floor and keep moving. Keep just doing your stuff. Keep moving." So I love the balance beam. I love BYU. It's so fun to be here with you guys today. Just to tell you where we're at in our season, just getting started, and to thank you for your support. We are 1 meet into the season so far. We hit Las Vegas last weekend for the Super 16 gymnastics meet. a lot of good teams on the floor at the Super 16, and it was so great to see our team come out and debut for the 2024 season. And man, you guys are in for a treat this year. They're a good team. I'd love to go through some of our key players with you in a few minutes. One of the cool things we got to do when we were in Las Vegas was to take our team to the Las Vegas Temple and do some baptisms. And Liz knows I'm an emotional person, but it was one of the highlights of my 9 years here at BYU to be in the baptismal area with our team and to see the goodness of the girls that compete for the Cougs. And they're just spectacular human beings. I hope that you get to know them at some level, but it was a highlight for me. This weekend, we've got a busy one. We're up at the Maverick Center twice. The first one is Saturday night. It's an ESPN collegiate quad meet, and that's against Cal, Michigan State, and NC State. And that will be quite a competition. We'd love to have any of you come up for that can. And then we'll take a break, come home for church on Sunday, and be back on Monday night for the Best of Utah meet against Southern Utah, the Utah Utes, and Utah State. So that's at 4 p.m. on Monday up at the Maverick Center. We'd love to have you there as well. I'd love to just tell you a little bit about some of our key returners this year. We're very lucky to have 4 fifth-year returners, and you'll know their names if you follow gymnastics at all. We've got Alex Mason, who is a strong 3-event gymnast. She competes on bars and vault and beam. She's actually going to be my start-off on beam this year, which is, I think, the hardest role on our team. And so we're grateful to have a strong 5th year starting us there. Lindsay Hunter is a bar standout. You might remember just how high she gets up on those bars. Elise Rollins, we call her our beam queen. She's an All-American and a 3-year team captain. And so having her return is really great. And Anissa Alvarado is definitely the bar queen. She scored a 9.95, which is a PR for her last week in Las Vegas. And she's got, you'd think she would be kind of simmering down at this point. No, she's added new skills. Her dismount is among the hardest in the country, and she nailed it. She did not move. So she's like a dart on a pegboard. Watch for Anissa, and you'll know her because her smile is one of my favorite smiles on our team. She's just a light. In addition to these just 4 key returners, we have some freshmen who made their debuts last weekend in Vegas, and they are going to be incredible. Alila Alvarado is Anissa's younger sister, and she is also a bar queen. It's really hard to tell them apart. They swing the same, their bodies look the same. Their faces are a little bit different, but Alila is going to be every bit as good as Anissa. So watch for Alila to break into the lineup probably this weekend. Maya Kirkham is possibly going to be an all-around gymnast for us this year. She had a high score for our team on floor, and she started us off on floor as a freshman, so that's pretty cool. And she has a sister who's a Cougarette, so there's a little family fun there. Ava Jorgensen was a national bar champion before she came to BYU. We are lucky to have her. Great LDS kid who just wanted this environment, and we are thrilled that she's a great bar swinger, but she also started our team off on vault last week and did an incredible job. She's one of only 2 or 3 on our team who have a 10.0 start value on vault, and that's a big deal. And so we're glad to have Ava on the team. Brinley Anderson, you're going to love Brinley. She's a spark plug. I can't wait for her to get on floor. She's not quite ready on floor yet, but if Elise Rollins is our beam queen, Brinley Anderson's our beam princess. And she was our high score on beam last week in Las Vegas and is solid. You will love her. When she does beam, her face looks like this. So you can tell she just loves being up there. She has just great awareness and confidence already, and that's hard stuff to teach. So excited about Brinley. And then our second highest beam score last week was Chloe Hoke. You'll know that last name. Her dad's a football legend here, and 2 boys playing on the football team currently. So they're a BYU through and through family, and she's breaking into that beam lineup and did very well last weekend as well. So I'm not going to take too much time. We want to invite you guys out to our first home meet for sure. If you can get up to the Maverick Center this weekend, that's great too. Wear your blue. First home meet is February 2nd in the Marriott Center. We would love for you to be at our meets. We have a daddy-daughter meet coming up on February 23rd. Bring your granddaughters, bring your daughters. There's going to be a dinner beforehand, and then come watch the meet. They give the girls a little rose. They do all kinds of fun things for the ladies. So that's daddy-daughter on February 23rd. I wanted to talk just a little bit about us going into the Big 12, who that includes in the gymnastics world. Oklahoma is the 6-time reigning national champions currently in the Big 12 for one more year. We're going to have our conference championship there this year. We'll actually get a chance to fly out and compete there and then go back for conference championships. So very lucky to get to do that. Denver is always a top 10 team. We've beaten Denver several times here and there, so we feel good about Denver. High quality competition. Iowa State and West Virginia are the other two that are currently in our conference. And then next year we'll have U of A, ASU, and the Red Rocks joining the Big 12 in the gymnastics world. So it's going to be a very strong gymnastics conference. The level of competition is just going up, 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 and we're excited for it. I hope that's not me. No. Okay, it sounds like my phone. Couple of things. I asked Gard Young. You guys know Gard. He's passionate and excited about our program as I am. I asked if there was anything he wanted me to share with you today. He said, number one, come to our meets. We want to see you guys there. We'll have a Cougar Club night and just want to have as many of you there as possible. Come down after the meet, get to know our girls. They, like I said, they're fabulous. The second thing he said was that we love your support and we appreciate you in all the ways that you support our team. We know that it doesn't just happen, and you guys are behind the scenes making those contributions and being at the events that matter to us. And so we appreciate you. If you're looking to help a team, a little goes a long way with these Olympic sport athletes. And we love your NIL deals that we currently have going. If that's something of interest to you, talk to Gary Verone. Last on my agenda, and I may get emotional, is some of you may have heard of the passing of Brad Cattermole. If you've been around a while, you know who Brad is. Brad is BYU Gymnastics for about the last 40 years. He was the head coach here for 27 and 12 years before that as an assistant, and that's incredible to me. He was my coach at BYU, and he coached Brogan, our assistant coach, as well. He's known Gard since he was in diapers, and so he's special to us. We just want to acknowledge that he mattered to this program, and we are appreciative of the foundation he laid for the benefits that our girls get today. And his funeral will be next Monday up in Cedar Hills. If any of you are looking for information on that, BYU will probably post it on our gymnastics website. So again, we appreciate you guys. I think we're going to do a question and answer later.
You can do it right now.
Any questions for gymnastics? Yes.
Well, I actually have two. One of them is this year and last year, we've only had 4 home meets and like 8 away meets. And I was wondering if you're doing that strategically to have more chances to score high on the road, or do teams not like to come here, or why we don't get very many home meets? And then my other question is, at the last meet I was watching on TV, and we did it, and we had all the beam scores, and then a couple of them got changed.
Yes.
After that, since you're the beam coach, you could tell us how
Yeah.
you go about disagreeing with the scores.
Yeah, you'll see me, if you see me in the background, I'm always pointing and making sure that Gard and Brogan are aware of those mistakes. So when you compete, you have 2 judges. You can have 2, you can have 4. At maybe postseason meets, we'll end up with 4 on each event. But at this Vegas meet, we did have 2, and they have to come up with a start value for each routine, and then they deduct from there. So when I'm pointing, it's usually because I see a judge flash an incorrect start value. All of our girls are trained to start at a 10-0, and one judge may flash a 10-0 start value, and the other one might flash a 9-8, which means she either didn't give a connection or a value of a skill, or just messed up. And so then we have the opportunity to put in an inquiry form and ask why her start value wasn't what we thought it should be. And she has the opportunity to change it and say, oh, I messed up, or hey, I missed that connection, or to say, no, the girl did the connection, but maybe we didn't do it fast enough, or we didn't give the value of that skill because it wasn't done correctly. So that's what happened. And then you'll notice that on the broadcast, they don't know that change right away, but when the final scores come out, those changes have typically been made. So we actually inquired 4 beam routines in the last meet, which is kind of a lot. It's the beginning of a season, and there are some new rules that judges are still getting used to. And so we're patient about that, but we did inquiry, and I think they changed 2 scores and kept 2 the same. So that gives us an idea about where we can go back to the gym and keep working, and then gives them an opportunity to correct a mistake if they need to. And then in terms of home meets, yes, we can only count a max of 3 home meets, and we compete very well at home. We love to be in front of the Rock and Cougar Nation and the Cougar Club, and so we don't feel a need to have a lot more than that. Some seasons we may go up to 5. With the shift over to the Big 12 this year, they determined some of our schedule, and so some of the things that were set up on our schedule stayed the same, and some had to shift just because we needed to accommodate those Big 12 teams. So we are at 4 this year. One change that we do have is that we're up in the Marriott Center full-time now, which we are so happy about. It's a great place to compete. So does that answer your questions? Good. Are there any others? Well, we appreciate you. Look for those standout gymnasts. I don't know how other teams train, but I like to say that our gymnasts work harder than any team on this campus. And they do. They train year-round. Part of it is voluntary, but in our sport, you kind of got to keep training. And so they are constantly in the gym. I'm headed to practice right now, but I hope to see you guys at a few meets. And let us know if you have any questions or want to come and meet the team at any point. We'd love to make that happen. All right, thank you.
Thank you, Natalie. That was awesome. Let's just put that in perspective real quick, what she just talked about. The 4-inch beam. Sorry, there we go. When you do that in your living room, can you close your eyes one time and just spin? And then I want you to remember that they do that. It's like a 3-ring circus. When you come to the gymnastics meets, there's so much stuff going on in there. People yelling. And let's just compare it to golf for just a second. So if you're Tiger Woods and you're at the Masters and there's 100,000 people packed into Augusta National, they make sure that every person, every phone is completely silent. And if he misses a putt, he's not going to get hurt, right? He just misses a putt. If these girls fall off the beam, they're getting hurt. And it doesn't matter. They have to do it with noise, commotion. The skill is just so impressive. So come to one of their meets and watch them and just appreciate what they're doing down there. It's phenomenal. Okay, now we're going to shift into soccer. This soccer season was more than phenomenal. To go back to the cup, the Final Four of soccer is just incredible. Jen's been our coach for 29 years, Jen Rockwood, and this team has been so much fun to watch. As you came in and you were eating your lunch, we had the North Carolina match up on TV. That match, you were watching it when they went up real quick, 1-0, and then 2-0, and then 3-0. What were you thinking? That was tough. It was like, shoot, we're playing one of the most storied program in the country. They're up on us 3-0, and it was a cold night. And after halftime, our team came back out and just ripped it, started putting holes in the net. And that last one by Olivia Wade-Cateau with no time left was just sensational. Do you want to watch a little quick highlight of that once again before Jen comes up? Okay. Can you guys roll that back there, just the highlight portion of that?
After a rough start, obviously Carolina's dangerous. You give up a goal in the first minute or 2 of the game, and they kind of shell-shocked us a bit. So we just got to regroup. We scored a lot of goals this year, and hopefully we can get a few more in the second half.
nice lunch for BYU to make this cook a little differently. Mozingo to the byline, left foot, still available, like the toe, deflection. And this crowd is back into it with 29 to go. BYU running out of time. There's still time to get a goal or two. Who knows? It might already be over. So maybe BYU gets a goal. They control off the post. Set piece opportunity for BYU with number 10 to go. Mozingo!
Nelly Wahlberg immediately takes the ball out of the goal because BYU wants to get things going as quickly as possible.
81st minute, BYU is within one with 9.5 to go, and now this crowd's really into it. Polino now. Unmarked right now. Wahlberg! We are tied! Oh my goodness! From down 3 to tied!
This is one of the biggest games in BYU program history.
McCarthy goes in right now. Going in Elgin, getting into the box. Coachella to the left foot. Another one to tie. 30 yards left to put BYU up 4-3.
The craziest soccer game that has ever been played.
This thing's over. BYU just came back down 3-0 to get the second ever college cup. A comeback for the ages. We witnessed a miracle tonight, and the fans stormed the field. One of the greatest comebacks in BYU history.
Absolutely incredible.
So sweet. I'm going to forego reading all of Jen's stats, and I'm just going to say the most sensational college soccer coach in the country, Jennifer Rockwood.
Put this up here. I have a prop. I brought a prop. So, first, it's great to be up here with Natalie. We share kind of the same office area with gymnastics, and we're really excited for them to get going. And as she mentioned, they work harder than most athletes. I agree. I used to think I was a pretty good athlete. I played 4 sports in high school and little college sports. I could not walk on the beam and turn a circle. It's the one sport that I really don't understand. And I think the cheer and cheer group, the dancers, and the gymnastics group are really the ultimate athletes. And so I'm always in awe, and they're so fun to watch. So we wish them good luck as they get going on their season. It's fun to be able to visit with them and catch up with what they're doing every once in a while. We have just such a great group of coaches and administrators and players here. So showing that video, wow, that just got me a little teary-eyed. A lot of emotion for sure. What an amazing year for us. I just wanted to share a little bit about some of our journey that led to kind of this game and playing in the Final Four. In soccer, it's called a College Cup, but I'm still not used to it. I still see it as a Final Four. But seeing that clip not only brings back a lot of emotions because it was such an amazing game to have that happen against a program that has won 22 national championships and the ultimate coach of NCAA sports in general, Anson Dorrance, to beat them was pretty fun. Let's be honest, it was pretty awesome, pretty spectacular. Even Anson texted me after the game and said in all his years he's never been a part of something like that. So he didn't like that he was on the other end of it, but he sure appreciated it, that's for sure. But seeing those clips also brings to mind my group of 11 seniors that we had this year. And, you know, we started practice for the first day yesterday, and today's our second. And to not have those 11 girls out there on the field is, I think we're all in a little shock. It's emotional. I've known most of those girls since they were about 11, 12 years old. They've been in our program with COVID. and injuries, some of them 6 years. And so, wow, what a journey they had in representing us and BYU over their career. So it's going to be weird for another month or so, I think, and then we'll try and regroup and get going. But we've had a great first practice. So I brought this sign up in front to kind of tell you a little bit about what led to our journey and kind of give you a little behind the scene of some of our players. I'll hold it up. I don't like being behind a mic. I like to move around, but this is from 2 years ago when we played in a national championship game against Florida State. How many of you maybe watched that game, remember a little bit of it? Some pretty special players here for sure. Kayla Clough is just got traded back to the Royals, and we're starting a women's professional team here in Utah. Her and Cameron Tucker will be playing on that Royals, and we hope this week that they maybe draft a couple of our current players. But this season started right here. A lot of my seniors from this group played in that national championship game and were a part of it. And last year, we had a good run. We went to the Sweet 16. We finished 12th in the country. But as we started this season, back to the mic. She's going to help me out with my prop. You can help me out?
You talk on the mic.
Okay, I'll talk on the mic. All right, we got a good helper here. Thanks. But to start this season, now I have a group of players who've played in a national championship game, who went to the Elite 8 or Sweet 16 the following year. And so now I have a bunch of girls that really believe they can win a national championship. Well, that's a lot of pressure on coaches because, some of those times you don't talk about that. You're like, let's win some games, we'll see how it goes. But this group, right from the very beginning, had the plan to win a national championship. They wanted to represent BYU and all of you and all of Cougar Nation that supports us better than any women's soccer team out there in the country. There's no question about that. You can see that on Southfield every home game and on the road when we have more fans in the stand than our home opponents. They can't quite figure it out. Okay, they think that you guys all hop in a plane and support us, but they don't realize that Cougar Nation is all over the country. And that is one thing our players absolutely love. They know we'll always have fans. But these girls wanted to represent. That's why they came to BYU to live their dreams, and you guys helped them do that. So we appreciate your time, your investment, your funds, your support, and your love that you bring to all of the athletes here. But as we started the season, my captains came together and they started thinking about what they wanted to do. And one of the things they did with our girls and all of us is they reminded us why. Why do we do what we do? Why do we put in the hours and hours? Why do we go through the ups and downs? Why do we rehab for 9 months after ACLs, right? Why do we come back with all the tears, all the frustration, didn't play in some games? Why do we do that? And so what our two captains, Liv Wade, who scored the winning goal, and Jamie Shepard, our other captain, is they asked us all to think about what is our why. Anytime you do something, you get more out of yourself if there's a reason why, and you remind yourself why you do what you do. Because some days you're not going to love it. We all know it's a grind. Those of you who played sports or in any job, life is a grind day to day, and that's where the good things and the special times are made, are through that grind. So if you want to turn this over, you don't have to hold it the whole time. You can just, let's go this way. Just a little brief. Our theme was all in, and if you guys watched us, you saw Brecken had that written on her leg. Her whole thigh said all in as a reminder. Our keepers had it written on their gloves, and it was something that we had. We had this poster up in our room, and it was a reminder, and it's something they said after every single game. As coaches at BYU, we have a chance to recruit some kids who've never sat out 1 minute of their youth career. And they come to BYU, and there's 32 of them, and guess what? Some of them don't get to play. And that's one of the toughest transitions from all of these athletes from high school to college, is that they've been the star, they've been the one that everybody cheers on. They don't know what it's like to sit on the sideline and cheer on their teammates. So one of the biggest things that has to happen for teams to be successful is to be all in and to support the team no matter what your role might be. So with 32 girls on their team, 11 play, and usually on average 16 to 17 will play every game. There's a lot of kids who aren't playing. So they have to figure out what their why is. and they have to figure out how they can be all in, even though they know they might not play in some games. So I'd like to read you a couple. Our captains came out with a bunch of these pieces. You can go ahead and put that down. Thank you so much. Give her a big hand. Awesome. So our captain came in the first week of our practices and had all the girls write on the back of these puzzle pieces their why. And I just wanted to read those, a couple of them to you so you can see, how they got through the grind. Okay? One of this is to do something that's never been done with this opportunity. One says, gratitude for the opportunities, people, my Heavenly Father, and for the love of the game. I love our team so much, and each victory, whether it is big or small, is so much more rewarding when you're doing it together and doing it with the people that you love. I play soccer and I'm motivated because I know what it's like to not have it. And there is no better feeling than overcoming a trial with joy for yourself and to serve my teammates and my coaches. And this is a girl who didn't get to play this fall because she was injured and just got another stress fracture, so won't be able to play this spring. I'm doing this for everyone that supported me in my soccer dreams. I'm doing this to make myself proud, to make my family proud, and to give back to those who have sacrificed so much for me. I'm doing it for my family, my friends, and myself, to reach my full potential in every aspect of my life. And because I haven't been given much, I must work hard. And I want to take advantage of this opportunity and to remember where I came from. So as coaches, we have the opportunity to work with some amazing young people. And I know my girls end up coming to BYU because they want to represent more than just themselves. They want to represent this university, and they want to represent their Savior. We talk a lot about being a disciple of Christ. And for people to see our light, we have to be the best. We have to score goals, we have to beat teams, and we have to win big games. And that is truly, I believe, what motivated our team this year. And as we played on TV, and as we moved on, and even at UCLA at home, had a #1 ranking early on in the season, people knew about us, at least in our soccer community, and at least Cougar Nation. And that's what's been so fun about this journey, is how many fans we've gained along the way who don't know anything about the church, who don't know much about BYU, but they loved watching our girls play. And that is truly an amazing experience, to have pro coaches say their sons and their daughters want to come to a BYU camp because they loved watching the girls play and wanted to meet them. And so as we started this year and reminding them why we do it, that we needed to be good so that we could inspire and motivate those around us, we had to be at our very best. We had 11 seniors this year. And so the experience that we've had has paid off. The leadership that we had paid off. And on Friday, this Friday at 5 o'clock in LA, we will have the professional draft for women's soccer. We have 7 players have put in for that professional draft, and I'm pretty sure we'll get a couple, maybe even 4 or 5 girls that will be drafted and use their experiences that they had at BYU to continue on representing and being a role and being a light to all of those that they can find. As we start this new season, we're going to have to find our own journey. Some of you might know that most coaches have a new team every semester. For soccer, we have a new team now because our seniors are gone. We added a few new freshmen. When the fall comes, we'll add the rest of our freshmen, maybe a couple transfers, but we'll put it all together. Our program this last season also had 10 missionaries, something that's quite unique to not just BYU, but certainly any other team in the country. It's been a challenge for us as coaches. I don't want to not support missions, but you can imagine as a coach, when our recruiting is 2 and 3 years in advance, and a girl comes and says they're going on a mission, and I'm like, I can't replace you. What am I supposed to do? It's worked out. We've tried to make it work out. I try and take a deep breath and make sure it doesn't cause me too much anxiety. But not only are we graduating 11 players, we're graduating 2 girls that would be starting for us this fall who just went on their mission this month. So we won't have them. So we're down 13, so be easy on us next fall. We're going to be good. We're going to be young. But we're going to be really good in a few years as soon as these girls get some experience because we have an amazing core of young women. I could talk forever because I love bragging about them. They're so great and they're so much fun and they're a light to so many. So in closing, just thanks for all that you do. And a lot of you have been on the journey with us and we appreciate your support. We have over 500 student athletes here at BYU that love it here and love you and love your support, and they can't do it without you. We're not all perfect. We're going to make mistakes. I have to remind myself these girls are 18, 19, 21, 22 years old. Want to wring their necks sometimes. Remind myself they're amazing young women, and I love them to death. So again, thanks for all that you do. Wish Natalie, she had to go, but all the sports that are going on right now, it's an exciting time for the Big 12. We enjoyed our time in the Big 12. We were one tie away from winning it all. So we took second, but we're excited to be in the Big 12 with the new challenges that it brings. So thanks again. Go Cougs. Any questions? Any questions? Yes.
You talk about an incoming class?
Yes.
Particular talent that she's like reclassified?
Yeah, so we have a girl named Abby Stein who's been with the youth national team. I first met Abby when she was 11 years old, coming to a BYU summer soccer camp. She was a special player then. She's a 2025 graduate, but graduated early and reclassified. She couldn't wait to get here, so she'll be joining us in the fall. Unfortunately, she just tore her ACL. It's just a hard sport sometimes, but in August she'll be at her 8th month when she comes. So we're hoping that she'll be ready to play in the games. And if she's not, we'll hold her out for a year. But she's a special player. We had 2 girls graduate early. One from Maple Mountain, one from Alta. So they're local girls. We have a lot of Utah kids on our team. And they'll be joining us this fall. And then we've got a girl coming in from Virginia, one from Georgia, another one from Northern Cal. And so we'll reload for this next fall. We have a lot of great returning players. We'll have some missionaries that didn't play this fall that redshirted that will be more than ready, and they are anxious and excited to have their time. Yes?
You mentioned the transfer portal.
Yes.
Do you have players that in the portal who will actually ask you to recruit them?
Yes, we, the transfer portal certainly become a huge part of football and basketball. It has carried over into the Olympic sports, and we've seen a lot of it in women's soccer as well. Because we're a super unique school, I don't like bringing in kids that I don't know too well, so it's not something that we've used or have had to feel we've had to use, but we've had more than ever kids reaching out to us that are interested in our program. We do have a one transfer coming in this next fall, but she's currently on a mission, and so she knows what she's get herself into. But I think we'll have like 4 return missionaries back again in the fall. But I see the transfer portal being more and more part of women's soccer, and we'll be using it to our advantage as best we can in the future as well. Yeah.
Odd question. How do you stay so motivated? Because you turn out a great team every year, which, by the way, thanks.
You bet. Thank you.
It's been fun. So we used to follow you. I lived in California, so we'd watch you when we were in part of the Pacific Coast League, and so we'd go to all those games. But it always has amazed me. How do you personally stay so motivated to do such a great job?
Well, thank you very much. Good question. I think I'm naturally at heart a true competitor. I love the challenge. I love the grind. I love to compete. I love to get these girls ready to compete at a high level. I love the different challenges that come each year. You know, our challenge last year was to get this group gelling together and find their confidence and use that leadership on the field so they could make decisions and be confident out there. The challenge that we see this next year is getting these inexperienced girls, finding the confidence and the leadership for them, maybe tweaking our formation a little bit to be different than anybody expects so that we can have an edge on all of our opponents. I think also the fact that more than ever, I have more help than I've ever had. I have an amazing staff. I have a great staff that I've turned a lot over to. I'm not as young as I used to be, and so I don't have as much energy as I'd like. So I have great coaches that help me out, and I've delegated, and they've done an amazing job of helping build our program, particularly in the last 5 or 6 years. It's been fantastic. And the girls themselves keep you young. Any of you guys that are around young people a lot, they just bring you energy. I missed them over the break. I don't know what to do with myself in downtimes. But the energy that those young people bring to me keeps me as young at heart as well. They're a lot of fun. But thank you. Yes.
So, again, congratulations. Last season was just amazing, especially the game against North Carolina.
Thank you.
But with all the holes you have to fill, what part of the team are you most concerned about? What comes to mind for me is the back line.
Yes. Mine too. I've lost some nights of sleep. Sleepless nights for sure.
Because our back line has had phenomenal speed for quite a while. And so, I have one other question before I finish this one. But
Okay.
so which group are you most concerned about? And then me and my family, as we watch, we're always trying to figure out which girls on the team are the fastest. Have you ever considered at like the blue and white game to put all the players on the goal?
Let 'em race?
Run them to midfield just so we could watch.
They actually just got timed in some agility tests this morning.
Oh, yeah?
So we saw a little bit, but we take pride in being one of the fastest, most fit teams in the country. So we do have a lot of great speed for sure. It's hard to say who is the fastest because we have so many girls that are quite fast. Very athletic. But back to your first question, we graduated a back line that all of them could be potentially drafted. Lava's in the draft. Liv Smith is in the draft. PD probably has a chance to play, but she's finishing up her MBA. We have 4 girls right now finishing up their MBA that were in the MBA program this fall. And then Izzy Stratton was going to be our lone back that started for us, and she went on a mission. So, what's that? Yes, and Bachi was our fifth defender that came in off the bench, and she also went on a mission. So I lost 5 starting defenders. So we're most concerned with our back line. The good thing is Lynette had a fantastic year as a freshman goalkeeper, so she has a great future ahead of her. And when you have great goalkeepers, that gives you a little bit of confidence. But we have some girls that trained behind all of those girls all last year and competed against our huge successful attack. So they don't have a lot of experience, but they're very good players. And I believe we have girls that can step into those roles. We'll play some games this spring to see where we are. But I really look forward to that challenge of building a back line. And by the way, we also have to build our entire midfield back because those girls were all seniors. And they were all seniors that started all of the games of their career. So be easy on us next year, but we'll be good. We'll be good. But yeah, we still returned 3 of our top goal scorers, though. We had some great young goal scorers, Ellie Walbrook, Allie Fryer, and Erin Bailey. All were over 10 goals each, which is a lot in a season. So we returned a lot of great goal scoring power. We've got a lot of great midfielders. We'll work super hard on our defense this offseason. Yes?
I have a quick question. Can you tell us a little bit more about Club 90? I go to a few soccer games every year and I see the cool gear they're wearing.
Yeah, so we call it the upper 90. Some people are like, what is that? And that's like, the goal right here, you shoot it upper 90, like Breck and Bella did often this last year. But it is kind of it's our VIP club. And so you pay a little bit more money and you get your season tickets. You get a parking spot right next to the indoor practice facility, which is super nice and easy. And you get a dinner. A pregame dinner in the annex right before every soccer game, and then you have the snacks at halftime. So it actually sold out, I think, within the first day, which was, we started a few years ago, and I'm like, who's going to pay that much money to come to a soccer game? I don't know. That's, we're just soccer. We're not football. We're not basketball. But we have such great support and so many great fans, it actually sold out very fast. So we'll have information on that, or you can reach out to me or the staff. But once we get into May and June, we'll have more information on how to join that VIP club. Yes?
Does NIL fit into women's soccer?
It does. It hasn't creeped into women's soccer, obviously, as much as it in some of the other sports, but it certainly has. I know the little girl, the forward from UCLA that we played against this fall, was on a $100,000 Nike deal. So it is transferring over right now to women's soccer, and I know BYU is doing a great job of getting things up and running for the other sports, and we hope to be having it work for women's soccer here over the next couple of years. Okay, awesome. Thank you again for all that you guys do. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much, Jen. It was awesome. We're going to finish this Cougar Club Luncheon with our giveaways right here.